Calm men are hard to control because control only works when reactions are predictable. When a man remains composed, he removes the emotional hooks people use to provoke, rush, or steer his behavior. There's nothing to push against, nothing to escalate, and nothing to manipulate. In a world driven by emotional pressure and constant reaction, calm becomes resistance. This isn't passivity or emotional shutdown, it's discipline. That discipline protects clarity, preserves leverage, and quietly shifts power in every interaction. While others react to regain control, the calm man stays centered, unreadable, and deliberate, allowing outcomes, not emotion, to dictate the direction of the exchange. Number 1. Calm men don't react on cue. Control depends on predictability, and predictability comes from reaction. When anger, defensiveness, or explanations can be triggered on demand, influence becomes effortless. Calm men disrupt that system entirely. They don't react on cue, don't rush to clarify, and don't emotionally perform just to satisfy expectation. Instead of responding to pressure, they pause, observe, and decide if engagement even serves them. That restraint removes emotional access and collapses leverage in real time. Without visible emotion to pull on, manipulation loses traction. The absence of reaction creates uncertainty, and uncertainty weakens control. Calm men aren't slow or passive. They're selective. They understand that every reaction hands away information, position, and energy. By staying composed, they force others to reveal intent through their own behavior. Pressure has no grip when there's nothing to provoke. Influence fails when it can't predict movement. That's why calm men feel difficult to manage. Not because they resist loudly, but because they don't respond at all unless it's intentional. In a world trained to expect immediate reaction, calm becomes quiet authority. Number 2. Calm removes emotional access. Calm removes emotional access, and emotional access is how most control is applied. When someone can reach your emotions, they can influence your reactions, steer your decisions, and pull you into conversations that don't serve you. A calm man closes that door without effort or confrontation. He doesn't overshare his thoughts, doesn't rush to explain himself, and doesn't seek validation to feel secure. By staying composed, he limits how much of himself others can touch emotionally. That distance unsettles people because it can't be crossed with pressure, guilt, or escalation. There's no emotional button to push and no reaction to extract. The usual tactics stop working. Calm creates a boundary that doesn't need to be announced, defended, or enforced. It simply exists. Without emotional access, attempts to control lose traction and fade out quickly. Influence requires engagement, and calm men don't engage on emotional terms. They choose when and how they respond, if they respond at all. That self-control keeps decisions internal and power contained. You can't steer someone who isn't emotionally reachable, and that's why calm quietly takes control without ever needing to assert it. Number 3. Calm men don't explain themselves excessively. Calm men don't explain themselves excessively because explanation is exposure. Every extra word hands over information, emotion, and leverage that can be questioned, reframed, or used against them. Most people believe explaining creates understanding, but calm men recognize that once a conversation becomes emotional, clarity is no longer the goal. In those moments, words stop resolving issues and start fueling them. That's why a calm man speaks only when it moves the situation forward and stays silent when it won't. He understands that over-explaining invites scrutiny, encourages misinterpretation, and opens the door for endless rebuttal. By limiting his words, he protects his position and keeps control internal. Silence becomes a filter that blocks manipulation and shuts down unnecessary conflict. Without constant explanation, there's nothing to twist, nothing to argue with, and nothing to pull on emotionally. His restraint isn't insecurity or avoidance. it's discipline. Calm men don't feel the need to justify every decision or clarify every feeling. They know that the less they say, the stronger their presence becomes, and that real authority doesn't need to defend itself. Number 4. Calm forces others to reveal themselves. When a man remains calm, attention shifts away from him and onto everyone else. Instead of defending his intentions or explaining himself, he observes how people react to the absence of response. Silence creates space, and in that space, emotions surface. People begin to project, speculate, and react impulsively, revealing what words usually hide. Attempts to provoke, guilt, or pressure become obvious when they aren't met with resistance. A calm man doesn't need to accuse or confront anyone because behavior exposes intent for him. Patterns repeat, inconsistencies surface, and motives clarify without argument. Without reaction, performance collapses and masks fall. When there's nothing to push against, people reveal how they think, what they want, and where their boundaries truly lie. Control breaks the moment reactions become visible, instead of managed through conversation. In that stillness, power shifts quietly. The calm man gains clarity through observation rather than force. While others speak to shape perception, he listens to understand reality. Silence doesn't confuse him, it informs him, allowing decisions to come from insight instead of emotion. Number 5. Calm is rooted in self-control, not compliance. Calm men aren't detached because they don't care. They're calm because they've learned that chaos is expensive and rarely produces clarity. Instead of reacting to pressure, they regulate themselves and conserve energy for what actually matters. They don't rush to dominate conversations, defend their ego, or prove a point in the heat of the moment. Their strength comes from restraint, not force, and that restraint makes them difficult to influence emotionally. While others escalate to regain control, a calm man stays grounded and refuses to be pulled into reactive loops. He understands that pressure only works on people who are internally unsettled. By controlling his impulses, he controls the situation without ever needing to announce it. His silence, pacing, and composure communicate boundaries more clearly than arguments ever could. This isn't passivity or submission, it's discipline in action. A man who governs his emotions doesn't need to comply with chaos to keep peace. You can't intimidate, rush, or manipulate someone who remains centered under pressure. Calm isn't withdrawal. It's authority exercised quietly, and that's why it's so hard to control. Calm men are difficult to control because they never hand away leverage through emotional reaction. They don't rush to explain themselves, defend every decision, or restore comfort for others at the expense of their own clarity. Their composure limits access, forces intentions into the open, and keeps authority internal rather than reactive. In a culture driven by noise, pressure, and instant responses, calm becomes a form of quiet command. It doesn't announce itself or demand attention. It simply holds position, not through force or dominance, but through restraint, discipline, and self-control. And that's why calm men don't lose power. They accumulate it.